Maki, this is becoming a problem.
What? But why?
Well, to make a dinner for your family every day is a little bit too much.
You're a grown adult. How cheap of you. This small amount is nothing.
My name is Yumi Sagawa. I'm a full-time housewife that's good at cooking.
Wait a minute. Is today's curry different from the usual?
Oh, you noticed? I tried changing the secret ingredient.
I like the usual one too, but this is also delicious.
I'm really glad that you like it.
Thanks for always cooking for me.
I should be thanking you. You're always working so hard, Kazuhiko. Kazuhiko and I support each other and respect each other. Our married life was going smoothly. That is, until one day. Huh? Is that Kazuhiko? I wonder if he finished work early today. Welcome home.
Oh, hello, Yumi.
Maki, what's the matter?
I stopped by on my way home from picking up Mayu. Hello.
Hello, Mayu.
Do you mind if we come in for a little bit?
Oh, come on in. This is Kazuhiko's older sister, Maki. She's my sister-in-law. This year, her daughter Mayu started attending preschool. Because her preschool is close to our house, she came over to say hi.
Something smells delicious.
It's a little bit early, but I just finished getting ready for dinner.
What's on the menu today?
Croquettes.
What? I'm so jealous. It looks delicious. Mayu also loves croquettes. Yeah.
If you'd like, do you want to take some home with you?
What? That would make me super happy. Well then, I'm not gonna hesitate and we'll take some.
Here you go. Maki's husband was working overseas, and apparently they were living separately right now. I'm sure there were a lot of things that were difficult about looking after their daughter by herself. And because I also wanted to support her, I split our dinner with them. However, at that time, I didn't even think about it, that simple action was going to make me suffer after that. A few days later.
Hey, Yumi, I'm back.
Oh, hello.
Yumi, you're seriously so good at cooking. I wanted to get dinner again today. That's why we came.
What? Oh, dinner. Sure, that's fine. I did feel a little bit strange about what she was saying, but it seemed like she was really happy with my cooking and it made me happy. So that day, I also shared some of our dinner with them. But then, a few days after that,
I came here to get dinner. Oh, today is meat and potato stew. That's great.
Maki,
What's the matter?
if you do this every single day…
Yeah, that's true. Next time I'll make it once every 2 days.
No, but that's also…
Don't worry. Today I bought a bunch of Tupperware at the dollar store. And with that, it'll be easier to split, right?
No, that's not the issue. Perhaps she got a taste for it, because Maki comes over almost every single day to mooch dinner off of us. Because she was also my sister-in-law, it was hard for me to say no. So in the end, she took more than half of the dinner that I had prepared for that evening. Well, this is a problem. At this point, we're not going to have enough for our own dinner. If I want to increase the amount, it's going to cost more for food expenses. I'm just going to have to flat out reject her next time. Up until now, I've tried to softly reject her, but none of my methods have worked at all. So next time, I needed to forget that she was Kazuhiko's older sister, and I decided I was going to clearly reject her. And then, 2 days later…
Wow, it's ginger roast pork today. Dinner is going to go by so quickly.
Perhaps she got so used to taking from me that without even asking me first, she tried to start stuffing her Tupperware with dinner. Maki, do you have a minute?
What? Why the long face?
Look, if you're taking dinner from us like this so regularly, it's going to be a problem. And plus, the amount that you take is a lot. For a while, I would like for you to stop.
Hey, Yumi, your face is scary. What, are you pranking me? You're watching too much YouTube.
This isn't a prank. I'm being serious.
What? You're just joking, right?
No, I'm serious. With this, I'd really like for you to stop mooching off of us.
Don't you think mooching is a horrible way to say it? You're saying it like I'm a beggar.
No matter how you look at it, that's what you are. Anyway, this is supposed to be dinner for me and Kazuhiko.
Oh, come on. You're being way too cheap.
Cheap?
Yeah, you're a grown adult. It's not good for you to be so cheap. It's pathetic. You know what? We're basically like family, so we need to help each other in order to survive.
I don't think that we're helping each other in this case. And plus, I'm sure your daughter wants to eat your homemade cooking too.
Mayu likes your cooking, so what's the problem with that?
No, but still.
Ugh, you seriously just don't get it, do you? Anyway, I'm going to be taking this with me. Goodbye.
Hey, please wait! No matter how many times I tried to seriously speak to her, nothing was working with Maki. Even after that, she came over frequently to mooch dinner off of us. I wanted to talk to my husband about it, but he was in the busy period at work, and he was basically just coming home to sleep. That's why I want to solve the situation by myself somehow. I can't come up with any kind of defense strategy at this point. I used Google and social media, and I was looking for some way against it. The only answers I was finding were to keep her out of the house, or to try to talk to somebody about it, and none of the opinions were very helpful. But that being said, I wasn't going to be able to solve anything by carrying this all by myself. It also wasn't going to be good for me mentally. Just for now, I thought, so I decided to try talking to a friend of mine who's also a full-time housewife like me. And in that way, she always takes more than half of our dinner with her.
Is that a thing? I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, well, I guess it happens.
You need to say no more clearly. I'm sure if you said it to her seriously to her face, she would also break.
I really tried to say no clearly to her, but then she started calling me cheap and attacking me.
Wow, that's the worst. I think she's even worse than a bad beggar.
I don't know what to do about it.
I've also never experienced anything like that, so I might not be able to give you the best advice, but I really do think you should talk to your husband about it. I understand on top of his work being busy, this is about his sister, so it's hard to talk about it with him, but…
Yeah, I guess you're right. Next time I'm gonna try to be more clear with her when I say no. If she's still not going to back down, then I'll talk to my husband about it.
That's what you should do. Things like this you should try to solve as soon as possible.
You're right. Thanks for listening to me about this.
Don't worry about it.
You're the best. Well, then I'll contact you again. Even though the result was the obvious that I should talk to my husband about it, I felt better just by being able to talk to my friend about my struggle. Well, then the next time was going to be my final solo move. If she didn't understand next time, then I will go to my husband about it. But if possible, I'd like to solve this case without the help of my husband. Maki, listen.
What's the matter? Huh? You're making a scary face again.
Look, I need to talk to you. I spoke to her more seriously than I had ever before. Because our food expenses were costing more and it meant that our dinner was lesser than what I had planned, I asked her to please stop coming over to take our dinner. I said it in a way that would be the least offensive to my sister-in-law, and I asked her politely.
I understand. I'm sure you have a lot of difficult things going on, Yumi. I guess you're right. Maybe I was taking too much.
Yes, so that's why.
Well, then, I'll take about 100 grams less than usual this time. Oh, maybe I should buy Tupperware that's just a little bit smaller.
It didn't work. No, Maki, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Huh? Well then, what do you mean? No matter what you say, I'm still going to take dinner. We are family after all. And plus, your cooking is delicious, so…
I mean, I am grateful that you think it's delicious, but…
Well then, what's the problem? There, solved. Next time I see you, I'll bring cute Tupperware.
This is impossible for me. And in this way, I ended up drowning. In the end, I wasn't able to stop my sister-in-law's rampage by myself. And as a last resort, I decided to talk to Kazuhiko about it. Hey, Kazuhiko. I'm sorry. When I know you're tired, do you have a minute?
Sure. What's the matter?
Actually, well, your sister has been taking more than half of our dinner on a regular basis. But when I try to say no, she bullies me. And I told him everything about his sister.
You're joking, right? My sister was doing that?
But that's the truth. I'm sorry, I'm sure you don't want to hear this about your own sister. In reality, I was trying to solve this problem by myself, but it just wasn't getting resolved.
Now that I think about it, there were some days that our dinner seemed pretty small, so I guess that's the reason behind that.
Yeah, exactly.
I was so busy with work that I wasn't able to notice. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, I'll try to talk to my sister directly next time.
Thank you. I'm sure if her little brother said something to her, then my sister-in-law would have a change of heart. And so, I'm sure this incident is going to get resolved with Kazuhiko's power. However, I was going to find out the hard way that I was being naive.
Maki! You gotta stop mooching dinner off of us!
What do you mean, mooching? So you and your wife are going to say such horrible things to your own sister together?
But that's what's happening!
Because we're family. It's a given that we should be helping each other.
What do you mean helping each other? But you're not even doing anything! You're just taking our dinner one-sidedly! That's nothing more than mooching!
Oh, shut up! What's the big deal? I am bringing Mayu over to your house from time to time. You guys don't have children, so I'm sure you're happy just to see my daughter.
That's not the problem here.
So, for dinner tonight, I see it's grilled fish. You know, Mayu and I both don't really like grilled fish. It would have been better if it was sashimi or something like that.
Maki, were you listening to me?
Yeah, so I'll let it go for today, but make some Western food next time, like a burger or something. Well, then I'll see you next time.
Hey, we're not done talking here.
Goodbye.
Ugh.
I'm sorry. Looks like I'm also useless. That woman isn't listening to us at all.
There's nothing you could have done.
But we can't just leave her to keep acting like this. How about we don't let her into the house if you see that it's my sister at the door?
I've tried that before, but then she presses the doorbell over and over again. And that in itself is a problem too. And plus, she often brings Mayu with her, so then it's even more tricky.
I see. In that case, her routine of coming over to get dinner, we have to erase that routine completely somehow.
What about discussing this with your mom and dad?
No, because my sister's like that, I don't think that it would make them more of a difference, whether I say it or my parents say it.
Really? Well then, what do we do?
Wait a minute. What about my sister's husband?
I heard that her husband is working overseas, so…
Well then, let's talk to his parents about it.
Don't you think that would be a bother to them though?
When it's gone this far, we can't say that. Our lives are also important. And I've heard about them before, that her husband's family are extremely strict when it comes to manners. So it might be pretty effective against my sister.
I didn't know that. Well then, why don't we try contacting them?
Yeah, I don't know if they'd be willing to listen, but it's worth trying to talk to them.
And so, we decided to get in touch with Maki's mother-in-law. We were worried whether she would listen or not, but she very politely listened to us, and she came running to us immediately. When it comes to her son's wife, she must have been really curious.
Thank you very much for coming.
It's been a long time. Perhaps it's been about a year already.
You're right. Looks like you haven't changed.
I'm only getting older, but nothing else has changed. Not at all. You're as beautiful as ever. And you too, Yumi. So, about what you told me over the phone, would you mind telling me a little bit more in detail what that was all about? Just as I had opened up to Kazuhiko previously, I told Maki's mother-in-law everything that was happening in detail. My goodness, so that's what's happening. Yes, I don't mean to say this as though I'm suspecting you, but I have a hard time believing this. Because I have the impression that she does everything around the house very properly. I understand. I think that's totally understandable that you would feel that way, but this is the truth. Is that so?
What if you see for yourself before you leave?
What? And then, this was Kazuhiko's suggestion. We would have Maki's mother-in-law hide in a separate room, and she would watch Maki from start to finish when she came over next time. My sister-in-law was taking dinner from us at a pace of about 4 times a week. Because she didn't take dinner from us yesterday, there was a high possibility that she'd be coming to collect it tonight. And so, Kazuhiko must have realized that this was the perfect opportunity for the mother-in-law to see it. I see. That's true. If I can see with my very own eyes, it would be easy for me to figure out how to handle it. I will hop on board with your suggestion.
Thank you very much.
Fortunately for us, she agreed. All that was left to do was to wait for my sister-in-law. Until then, we caught up about our families and made small talks to kill time. And then, after waiting about 30 minutes…
It smells good again today.
Maki, you're here again today to mooch dinner from us?
Well, I went home quietly yesterday for your sake, right? And again, it's not like I'm mooching off of you. I'm just here because you're sharing.
That's not true.
As usual, you're such a cheap husband and wife, aren't you? Good evening.
Good evening, Mayu.
Today, I brought Mayu with me. Aren't you happy since the two of you can't have children yet? In return for the dinner, I'm letting you see Mayu, and you can play with her as much as you want.
Maki, I said this before, but that and this are completely different.
Oh, Kazuhiko, you've become so nitpicky about everything, even though you used to be so cute when you were little. So, what's for dinner tonight? Oh, it's meatloaf. Yay! Mayu and I both love meatloaf.
Maki, as I said before, we're not going to be giving you any more of our dinner. And plus, today I only made enough for Kazuhiko and I, so it's not possible.
Excuse me? Are you kidding me? So you're okay if Mayu and I starve to death?
Why don't you make dinner yourself then?
I am busy with my own life. And plus, my husband isn't even in Japan.
I understand that you might be busy, but even if you dump your own family situation onto us every time, that's going to be a problem.
If you want us to make it for you, then at the very least, if you don't take responsibility for a portion of the food expenses…
And now you're talking about food expenses? You're a grown adult and you're so cheap. It makes me laugh. Anyway, I'm gonna take me and Mayu's portion. Thanks! Next time, I think I want to eat Chinese.
Maki!
Well, then I'll be taking some today again, and I'm looking forward to next time. Mayu, let's go!
My sister-in-law didn't even seem to have a millimeter of regret over it. And she tried to leave as usual. At that very moment, Maki, do you have a moment?
What the hell? You're so annoying. Wait, my mother-in-law? Huh? What's going on?
I listened to the entire interaction just now. I heard that you were handling everything in your house. So what on earth is this about?
Oh no, this is…
It seems that you're coming over here frequently to receive dinner?
No, that's not true. Today I just happened to not have time.
Is that so? Based on what I heard earlier, it seems that you're coming over almost every day to get dinner.
You must have heard wrong.
Mayu, is your mom's cooking delicious?
Mayu? Mom is busy, so she doesn't cook. I'm always eating Yumi's food. Hey, Mayu!
Is that so? And are you enjoying Yumi's cooking every day? Is it delicious?
Yeah, Yumi's cooking is delicious every day. I love it.
Is that so? Well, that's good for you. Thank you, Mayu. Children sure are honest. Well, that looks like that's what Mayu's saying, so…
Well, that's…
Now, I understand that you're living a lazy life without doing chores in the house. And if that were all, it would be one thing, but you are causing trouble to somebody else's household.
But Kazuhiko is my little brother, and we're family, so…
Even if you're siblings, you have your own separate households. And without even understanding that, you are running your mouth. Even amongst family, you should have manners. You are a grown adult and you don't even know that. Even though my sister-in-law was doing whatever she wanted to, apparently she didn't stand a chance against her strict mother-in-law. Anyway, you're going to apologize to Miss Yumi and her husband and pay back the food expenses. I'm going to calculate it with the two of them.
What do you mean, food expenses? I'm a full-time housewife, so I don't have money.
Even though you're not fulfilling the job of a full-time housewife, don't call yourself a full-time housewife. Get a part-time job or sell your luxury items. There are more than enough ways for you to make money. This is how much trouble you've caused them. Even if the two of them forgive you, I'm not gonna let you settle it for nothing.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, today, that's it for now. But tomorrow, you're gonna come to my house, and let's talk about everything, including what to do in the future. And after that, my sister-in-law dragged her feet out of our house.
Thank you very much for that.
I'm very sorry that you had to spend your precious time on this. I should be the one apologizing to you. I'm sorry for the trouble she caused you. I will be back on another date to formally apologize. As she said that, Maki's mother-in-law left her house. And then, a few days later…
My wife has caused you so much trouble. I'm terribly sorry about it. Come on, bow your head deeper to them.
I'm sorry about it.
I'm not going to let her do anything like this ever again. And I will also make her pay back all the food expenses.
Thank you. When my sister-in-law's husband heard about this incident, he came all the way home from overseas and came over to directly apologize to us. And judging by Maki's demeanor, she must have been fully scolded by her husband and his mother.
Listen, if you do something like this ever again, we're getting a divorce. And I'm going to take full custody of Mayu.
I also agree with Yuki. You are a wife and you are a parent, and you need to take responsibility for your actions.
I understand.
As a full-time housewife, I'm gonna need you to work a little bit harder. Yuki may be overseas, but you better not forget that I'm right next to you. You better not think you can live a lazy life anymore. And now, under the close observation of her mother-in-law, I heard that Maki is shaking as she proactively does the chores. And when it came to the food expenses, there were no problems. Every month, she's paying it back. Not only did she sell all of her luxury items that she owned, I heard that she's taking on part-time shifts when she can and is saving up money.
Why is this happening to me?
To be honest, I don't really want anything to do with Maki anymore, but I hope that she really regrets the incident and that she becomes a good mother. On the other hand, as for us…
Oh, it smells so good. Wait a minute, is it just me? Or is there more than usual?
It's the same as always. It's just that up until now, your sister had been taking more than half of this.
Ah, I see. It's interesting when you get used to a certain thing.
It's true that ever since my sister-in-law stopped coming to mooch dinner off of us, it feels like there's more food.
Yeah, this is the best that there are seconds available. From now on, I'm not gonna forget my gratitude for your food. and I'm gonna eat a lot.
Oh, but we need to be careful that we don't gain too much weight.
Yes, ma'am.